is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
In the headlines, Bongbong Marcos Jr.'s angry statement on the 10 million peso reward against Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy only shows his true colors, according to the legal counsel of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ. Instead of apprehending Marcos Jr. is tolerating DILG Secretary Benhur Abalos' irresponsible acceptance of the bounty donated by so-called friends. Meanwhile, Davao City Mayor Baste is open to the idea of running for the Senate in the upcoming 2025 midterm elections. The mayor stressed that the current negative state of the politics in the country is one of the reasons he is considering running for senator. In other news, Senator Ocampo and Castro guilty of child abuse. This is after a court ruled that legally transported indigenous youth from Davao del Norte to Davao de Oro. For our top global stories, assassination against former U.S. President Donald Trump, a result of Secret Service failure. Trump's security faces questions on how a sniper was able to obtain rooftop access during the rally. The warring factions in Suudan met in Geneva to resume ceasefire talks. I am Chris Aclo. Newsline World starts now. The Kingdom of Jesus Christ believes that President Bongbong Marcos' true colors have surfaced angrily after criticizing the Kingdom of Jesus Christ for questioning the 10 million pesos bounty issued by the government against Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy. The KOJC has previously pointed out that it was illegal for the DILG to accept donations to use as reward money. MJ Montihar reports.
Bakit hindi?
Ba't hindi government?
Bakit hindi? They want to help us bring a fugitive to justice. You know, he is a fugitive. He is hiding from the law. Now, if there are private citizens who want to assist the government in that effort to bring him to justice, I do not see what is any. So he can question their motives as much as they want, but magpakita siya. I question his motives. Let me question his motives. Bakit lagi kaming kine-question? Sinusundan lang namin ang batas. Sundin din niya ang batas.
This was the angry statement of Marcos Jr. to KOJC after the religious group questioned the release of a 10 million bounty by the DILG for Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy and a 1 million bounty for other accused individuals. The KOJC legal counsel pointed out that Benhur Abalos' move to accept donations from private individuals to be used as reward money is wrong and illegal, as it is a matter of public trust. If we base it on Marcos Jr.'s statement, it seems like he is condoning Abalos' wrong actions, especially since they do not want to disclose the private sources of the reward money.
Hindi naman po kami nagsasabing wag magbigay ng bounty. Practice po talaga yan. Nagtatanong po kami, sino po ba yan? Kasi ayaw i-disclose. Sabi nyo, why not? Ngunit, entitled po. The public has a right to know kasi nasa saligang batas po natin, the right of the people to information on matters of public concern shall be recognized. That includes access to information on all decisions and transactions of government. Decision. Bakit nagdesisyon ang Secretary of the Interior at sanctioned nyo pa? Konsentido nyo pa na tumanggap ng pribadong pera. Hindi po ba merong intelligence fund ang gobyerno para magbigay ng pabuya? Nasaan? Anong nangyari doon sa intelligence fund?
KOJC Executive Secretary Sister Nori Cardona believes that Marcos Jr. has revealed his true colors. According to Cardona, the president was caught by his own words, revealing that he is the mastermind behind the joint attack by the PNP, CIDG, and PNP staff on KOJC religious compounds in Davao City and Sarangani Province last June 10. It can be recalled that the heavily armed authorities did not present a search warrant, and they even harmed women, children, and indigenous members who had no knowledge of Pastor Apollo's whereabouts.
When you finally broke your silence, your true colors came out. that you are truly hell-bent to get our beloved pastor at all cost, you gave yourself away. Iniisip namin, sino ba nag-utos sa mga nangyari dito sa KOJC? Saan ba galing tong order na to? Well, naniniwala ako sa sinasabi na a fish is caught by its mouth. Nahuhuling isda sa kanyang bibig. Meaning, sa mga sinabi mo, yun na nga, you were caught off-handed. Kung kinain mo yung bait, yung pain, nahuli yung isda, at nung tinaas yung rod, ayan, alam na namin kung sino ang nag-utos. Alam namin kung saan ang galing. So, wala nang tanong pa. Tatanong pa ba? May andun na lahat ng mga legal na sinabi na ng ating mga legal experts. So, ito yung nangyari dito sa KOJC. So, magtatanong ka ng motibo, hindi na natin pag-usapan yan. Dahil alam naman talaga ng buong mundo yung motibo mo. Na-explain na lahat. It is blaring. It's so clear as the noonday sun. Kaya huwag kayo magmaang-maangan, huwag kayo magtago. So ikaw lang din ang nag-expose sa sarili mo, President Bongbong Marcos, sa lahat ng managaganap dito, hindi lang sa KOJC, pero ang nangyayari dito sa bansang Pilipinas. Ikaw yung mastermind.
SMNI Angkor Ka-Eric and Jay Sonsa said that as an elected official, the president should not take criticism negatively because it is the people who put him in his position. Celis also stated that Marcos Jr.'s comment about following the law is very unpresidential, especially for someone like him who still hasn't paid taxes to the government.
Ang gobyerno ay dapat lamang tinatanong ng mga mamamayan. Kung ayaw mong tanungin ka, Mr. President, umalis ka sa pagkapangulo at bumalik sa private life. Ang gobyerno ay may tungkulin at may pananagutan sa mamamayan. Mga katanungan na valid at legitimate, mga issues na dapat niyang tugunan mula sa mamamayan. Ang gobyerno ay dapat sumagot ng maayos at hindi siya pwedeng maging pikon. Sinabi niya ni Pangulong Marcos Jr., mga kababayan, ano daw ang motibo ni Pastor Kibuloy na mga nagko-question kung bakit kino-question ang pagpatong ng 10 milyon at tig-1 milyon kay Pastor Kibuloy at sa mga leaders ng SMNI. Sumusunod lang daw sila sa batas. Dapat sumunod din daw sa batas si Pastor na isang pugante. Very unpresidential po ito. Una sa lahat, Pangulong Marcos Jr., ang hindi po ba ninyo pagbayad ng 203 billion pesos na buwis sa ari-arian ng inyong pamilya na dineklara ng Supreme Court at sinisingil sa iyo ng bayan, pagsunod ba yan sa batas o hindi? Tatanungin ka ngayon ng mamamayan. Paano mo itinatanggi ang isang final and executory decision ng Korte Suprema, pinakabataas na korte? If you are the president, you are highly expected to follow the law by every doctrine of the law sapagkat mandato mo yan bilang Pangulo ng Bansa. Hindi nyo binayaran at hindi mo binabayaran at hindi nyo kinikilala ang 203 billion pesos accrued estate taxes ninyo. So si Pastor Kibuloy ba at ang Kingdom of Jesus Christ ang lumalabag sa batas o ikaw bilang Pangulo ng Bansa? And that is a criminal accountability on the people kasi tantamount yan sa tax evasion at criminal offense yan.
Kahapon nung nanonood kami ng television, kasama ko yung ibang kasama kong magbubukid, ang reaction nila, naun sa mga presidente, mura na maglabuang. You know? So, kasi sabi niya, bakit kami? Kanino kami magre-reklamo? Kanino kami magtatanong? Tumakbo-takbo kang presidente, naging presidente ka, tapos tatanungin mo ngayon, bakit ikaw? O diba? Sabi mo, pantay-pantay, dapat ayon sa batas. Kaya, dinadaan lahat sa batas. Pinaliwanag na nitong mga abogado rito, si Attorney Topacio, si Attorney Turion, ano yung mga paglabag sa batas. Ngayon, kung talagang matino kayo dyan sa nanunungkulan, abay, pakita nyo sa taong bayan na kayo'y sumusunod sa batas because right now what we see is you do not follow the very law.
Former NTF-ELCAC spokesperson Dr. Lorraine Badoy said that the government does not think about the moral implications of accepting reward money from private individuals.
We're all entitled to that protection of the law. And what this president is doing, he is once again, like he's done with NTC, MTRCB, and all institutions, all agencies of the government under him, he has weakened it. Now what he's doing right now is he is weakening the PNP and our legal processes. No? So ang ibig niya sabihin, isa-shortcut natin. No? So paano kung ang isang tao, no, mayaman siya at meron siyang gustong pahanap, pwede niya ibigay yung milyon-milyon. No? So, and what else are the moral implications to this? The imbalance. No? So ang isang ordinaryong mamamayan katulad natin, pag pinag-initan ka ng mayaman na may milyon, katulad ng mga kaibigan ni Bongbong Marcos, pwede silang magpatong ng pera sa ulo mo, at yun na yun, kailangan mo magtago.
For Geneva of Philippines, MJ Mondehat, SMNI News.
According to the KOJC legal counsel, Police Regional Office 11 Director Brigadier General Nicholas Torre is lying after denying receiving calls or texts from attorney Israelito Torian. This pertains to the arrest of Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy, co-accused Pauline Canada. Let's hear more from Jason Rubico.
In a press conference, Police Regional Office 11 Director Brigadier General Nicholas Torre insisted that he did not receive any calls or texts from the legal counsel of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, Attorney Israelito Torion. This statement followed the police arrest of Pastor Apollo Sikibuloy's co-accused Pauline Canada in a subdivision in Davao City on June 11. Torion stressed that Torre was lying, asserting that as Pauline Canada's lawyer, he immediately contacted the official upon learning of her arrest.
That is a lie. That is a lie because andito naman yung mga text messages dito eh. Hindi naman siguro po pwede na i-deny niya ito, no? Siguro sasabihin siguro natin na technique lang niya yon para matanong pa niya ng marami si Ma'am Pauline na walang abogado, pero alam niya, being a general, na bawal po yun because Republic Act 7438 Section 2 in relation with Section 4 mandates that all persons arrested or detained at all times be assisted by counsel. At all times,
To recall, Torres' personnel initially denied that Canada was arrested and was taken to Camp Katitipan. However, the PNP retracted this statement after a video surfaced showing Canada's arrest. Around 11 p.m., other media outlets reported that Canada was detained at Buhangin Police Station. But when the KOJC legal counsel arrived, they found out that Canada was never detained there. Torion later received information that Canada had been transferred to Camp Crame in Quezon City. Torion emphasized that the PNP violated Miranda rights when they arrested Canada and transported her to Camp Crame without giving her a chance to speak with her lawyer.
actually that is a violation because at all times nga she should have been assisted by counsel. Sanda, nandun ako, kasama ako dun. Ang nangyari kasi, they subjected my client to an investigation without counsel. Alam mo, kung basahin nyo yung batas, bawal yun. Nakakapreso yun, 8 years to 10 years imprisonment yun, at saka yung isang violation yun, 4 years to 6 years yung imprisonment dun. At may administrative liabilities pa, perpetual disqualification to hold public office.
The following day, Torion traveled to Camp Crame and spoke with Canada personally. He revealed that no one wanted to accept the accused into custody because authorities admitted that there were irregularities in her arrest.
Yung pagdating kasi ni Ma'am Pauline doon, walang magtanggap sa kanya. Walang magtanggap kasi sa first night niya, sa hotel siya napatulog ni General Torre. Wala daw magtanggap sa kanila kasi admitted nila na parang may irregularity talaga doon sa pag-arrest niya at saka pa hindi pag-recognize na aking tawag, text message kasi.
According to Attorney Torion, it is up to Canada whether she will file charges against the authorities who arrested her. For God and my beloved Philippines, I am Jason Rubico, SM9 News.
More and more brave individuals are expressing their opposition to the Philippines' involvement in the conflict against China, involving several religious groups. Meanwhile, a lawyer believes that the best situation to prevent a war between Manila and Beijing is for Marcos Jr. to step down as president. Almar Forsulo reports.
The Philippines is currently facing numerous problems. There is a continuous rise in the prices of basic commodities in the market, high charges for water and electricity, and many other headaches and burdens for the ordinary Filipino. In the midst of the daily struggles of the people, in what seems to be a worsening state of life in the country, there looms a potential war between the Philippines and China, fueled by the instigation and provocation of America. As the situation in the Philippines deteriorates, Filipinos are now seeing the true colors of the Marcos administration. Because of this, the calls of Bongbong Marcos to leave Malacanang continue to grow. Among the groups that stepped up to speak out to oppose the government is the nationally concerned Christian leaders and citizens, which recently sent a letter to Marcos Jr. The group insists they did not want the Philippines to be used in a proxy war. Angel Ortega, head coordinator and convener of the group, said all independent religious groups are united in their call to avoid war.
We, the nationally concerned Filipino Christian leaders and citizens, stand united today to voice out our grave concern and refusal to the disastrous civil war, nor a proxy war that is brewing at hand. We are calling out the attention of our President and the armed forces of the Philippines to no longer allow this war posturing against China and daily drumbeat of war being projected by the mainstream media.
Former CPP and PANDF cadre Jeffrey K. Ericelli supports the actions taken by various religious groups, saying that the government should listen to the voice of the church and immediately address their grievances because they do not want our country to crumble in the hands of a corrupt government.
The voice of the church people needs to be heard in these critical times. Kaya nandito tayo. Mapa-Muslim, mapa-Kristiyano, we do not want to see our country collapse into the mire of an evil government that does not recognize morality and faith of conviction to serve its country and its people.
Former CPP and PANDF cadre Peter Caramon Mutok emphasized the importance of the gathering because, according to him, none of the mainstream media are reporting on the impending war.
Upang pukawin, ipaabot sa mamamayan, kasama po kayo na magkakagera. Magkakaroon ng gera. Hindi po biro ito at nakakalungkot talaga na hindi ito kinikibo ng mainstream media. Nakakakilabot.
Meanwhile, in line with this, personalities Attorney Vic Rodriguez, Attorney Harry Roque, Attorney Trixie Cruz Angeles, and Attorney Glenn Chong held a forum in Barangay Bambang, Bukawi, Bulacan. According to former Executive Secretary Attorney Vic Rodriguez, the forum aims to inform Filipinos of the true state of our country.
Sila'y talagang nag-aalala dito sa napipintong digmaan sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at ng China. Alam kong ito rin ay bumabagabag sa inyong isipan. Unang-una, dahil walang malinaw na pagpapaliwanag mula sa pamahalaan. Ano ba talaga ang tunay na estado ng problemang ito? Bakit ang dami-dami ng sundalong Amerikano sa Pilipinas?
According to Attorney Harry Roque, Marcos Jr.'s continued evasion of the issue regarding his alleged use of illegal drugs is no longer amusing.
Hindi po nakakatawa ang tanong kung ikaw ay adik. Bakit po? Dahil pag ikaw ay presidente at wala ka sa tamang pag-iisip, pwede mong kaladkarin ng Pilipinas sa isang gera na wala namang interes ang mga Pilipino para mamatay. At yan po ang nangyayari ngayon.
For Attorney Trixie Cruz Angeles, the Philippines will not progress if the president's policy remains unchanged.
Kailangan alam ninyo ito. Kailangan alam ng pamilya ninyo. Kailangan alam ng inyong mga kaibigan na ganito ang estado natin at hindi ito iigi. Hindi ito mag-i-improve. Pagdating ng susunod na taon, kung ganyan pa rin ang desisyon ng ating Pangulo, mahal pa rin ang presyo ng pagkain, mahal pa rin ang presyo ng tubig, ng kuryente, ng transportation. Wala tayong aasahan na improvement kung hindi siya magbabago.
According to Attorney Glenn Chong, to end the hardships of Filipinos and prevent the impending war, BBM should step down as the country's president.
Of course, palayasin si Marcos sa Malacanang. That's the most practical solution. But I should stress out, Yung pagpalayas kay Marcos, ang basis natin doon is not only that we want peace, but because minanipula niya yung kanyang mandato.
This sentiment is agreed upon by various sectors.
Ano yung ginagawa ng ating Pangulo? Diba? Para gawing mapayapa yung ating bansang Pilipinas. Sa tingin ko dapat lang. Dapat na siyang bumaba dahil pag nagtagal pa siya, lalo lang mahirapan ang sambayan ng Pilipino.
Yes naman, parang tayong niluluko na lang eh. Dahil lahat ng sinasabi nila wala naman natutupad.
For God and my beloved Philippines, Almar Forsuelo, SMNI News.
Camp of Davao del Norte Governor Hubahib has now pushed back against the 15 individuals who first filed complaints against him with the Ombudsman and the Office of the President. Donna Martel reports on the details.
Davao del Norte Governor Edwin Hubahib filed a perjury complaint against 15 individuals on Monday, July 15th at the Tagum City Prosecutor's Office. According to Governor Hubahib's legal counsel, Attorney Israelito Torjon, the 15 individuals, all residents of Davao del Norte and Davao de Oro, lied in the process of filing their complaints against the governor with the Ombudsman and the Office of the President.
What happened was that they filed a case with the Office of the Ombudsman, and barely 1 or 2 days thereafter, they also filed the same complaint, exactly the same complaint, in the Office of the President. And all complaints need verification and certification. Portion of the verification is a declaration on the part of the complainant that he has not filed any similar case with other offices. That constitutes willful misrepresentation of fact.
The 15 individuals complained to the Ombudsman and the Office of the President about a memorandum issued by Hubahib for rallies and motorcades supporting the House bill advocating for the expansion of the Davao Light and Power Company. It can be recalled that the Office of the President suspended Hubahib due to this complaint. The proposed bill was in response to the allegedly poor service of the North Davao Electric Cooperative Incorporated or NORDECO. Meanwhile, Governor Hubahib stated that he will continue to support the bill for the welfare of the residents.
Sinuportahan pa rin natin yan dahil hanggat hindi makamit ng taong bayan ng Davao del Norte ang magandang serbisyo ng kuryente at murang bayaran sa kuryente na matagal na hinangad ng mga konsumante. Hindi po tayo hihinto hanggat hindi natin makamit ang ating pinaglaban para sa kaunlaran ng bawat pamilyang naninirahan dito sa Davao del Norte.
He stated that he only did what was right and urged that the law should not be used against the innocent.
Ginawa ko lang kung ano ang tama. Ang message ko doon, dapat pag-isipan nyo na kung gumawa kayo ng hakbang, siguraduhin nyo na nasa tama kayo. Huwag nyong gamitin ang batas para na maparusahan ang isang tao na wala naman siyang kasalanan.
For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, this has been Ino Mortel, SMNA News.
Davao City Mayor Sebastian Baste Duterte is not ruling out the possibilities of running for the Senate alongside his father and older brother. Here's the report with Hannah Jane Sancho.
Mayor Sebastian Baste Duterte granted an interview to reporters based in Davao City. During the meet and greet, the media asked Mayor Baste about various issues concerning the city of Davao and more. Among the topics discussed was Vice President Sara Duterte's recent statement about the possibility of Duterte's running in the upcoming midterm elections.
Lahat sila raring na tumakbo Si PRD, Senator. Yung kuya ko, si Paulo Duterte, yung congressman ngayon, Senator. Si Sebastian Duterte.
So tatlo ang Duterte next year for Senator?
Yes, tatlo ang Duterte next year.
Confirm na ba yan galing sa'yo, VP?
But what are the thoughts of the youngest Duterte and the mayor of Davao City on this matter?
Pero ingon lagi sa igsoon, malaga lagi kami tulog senador.
Ito ingon po ni Vice President.
Actually, sa tinuod lagi na entertain ba gid pud nako na idea na. Kung tulo may managan.
According to Mayor Baste, the current political climate is one of the factors that he is considering if he decides to run for senator. He added that they have yet to have a formal discussion with their father and siblings regarding their potential senatorial bids. To recall, former President Rodrigo Duterte is one of the leading senatorial candidates for the upcoming 2025 midterm election based on the latest Pulse Asia survey. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, this has been Hannah Jane Sancho, SMNI News.
Up next, Indonesia signs a deal granting investors up to 190 years of land rights to lure foreign investments in its new capital. And tensions continue to escalate between the two Koreans, with the North willing to resend trash-filled balloons in retaliation to South's anti-Pyongyang leaflets over the border. More news when Newsline World returns.
Abangan ng Banateros tuwing Lunes hanggang Huwebes, live dito lang sa SMNI.
Yan ang Banateros, walang inuurungan. Pag tama palakpakan, pag mali ay babanatan. Yan ang Banateros.
Kung akong tatanungin, kahit saang aspeto, gusto ko garantisado. Metikuloso akong tao, kaya gusto ko lahat maayos at sigurado. Lahat quality, yung hindi ako makukompromiso pero sulit ang presyo. Ganyan ang clean fuel, kaya dito panatag ang loob ko.
Magandang umaga po, sir. Full tank po.
Full tank. Gusto mo ng dekalidad na gasolina pero sulit ang halaga, mag-clean fuel ka.
Children will grow up and bring the joy, the love, the peace, and compassion to the whole world. We only have one planet. We only have one Earth. And I hope that this new generation of children that we have reached out will become millions and billions and bring peace on Earth. Bring peace to humanity.
ang buot sa Dios kitang mga katawhan tunay espiritong mupadayon o guantos. Kay dakitan sa Dios sa unahan basta mahimo ka ng anak sa Ginoo sa gingharian. Daghan ang mga pagsulay. Kung way pagantos di ka makalahutay. Kung walay pagkamakanunayon dili gyapon ka makalahutay. Ang tuyo sa Dios nga ang matagos nga gitawag makalahutay. Makalahutay lamang sa mga pagsulay kundili sa pagtubo nga makaabot siya sa ikaupat nga laka nga dito na manukad ang iyang reward.
In the spiritual, you don't have to have a doll in order to become a witch. When you psychologically hurt someone, you are a witch. You know how a witch is hurt spiritually? A cold shoulder, mental abuse, physical abuse is witchcraft. Soul winners are not like that. Soul winners are winning souls through love, peace and joy, meekness, gentleness, goodness, kindness. Whether you are on the first, second, or third level of spiritual growth, we are all participating in the same body. We have a care for everyone in the body. Whether you are part of the feet, which is the lowest of all, whether you are in the hand, or whether what part you are, one to another, there is participation of love. That's why Jesus Christ said, love one another, that the world may know you are my disciples.
The Commission on Elections and the Department of Justice held a meeting to discuss the evidence that could be utilized in the fact-finding investigation against Mayor Alice Go. Finger analysis results may be released as early as next week. Margaret Gonzalez reports.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, and the Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, held a case conference to discuss the accusations against suspended Bamban Tarlac Mayor Alice Go, who is now facing human trafficking complaint at the DOJ, and the allegations that she is not a true Filipino, as claimed by some senators during a Senate investigation. According to COMELEC, Go could potentially face misrepresentation charges if she lied about her Filipino citizenship in her candidacy declaration. The Commission has initiated its own fact-finding investigation and has asked the NBI for a copy of Go's fingerprint sample for comparison with the fingerprint sample obtained by the Commission in her certificate of candidacy and voter registration documents. Previously, the NBI indicated that Chinese national Go Waping and Alice Go are the same person based on fingerprint examination. The DOJ and COMELEC's meeting aimed to gather information to aid COMELEC's ongoing investigation against Go.
Bumubuo kami ng matibay na kaso patungkol kay Mayor Go. Ito ay ang Piskalya ng Manila at pagkatapos siyempre ang COMELEC at marapat na pinagharap ko ang Piskalya at ang siyempre ang aming Law Department sapagkat siba nga inatasan natin ang Law Department na magsagawa ng fact-finding investigation at magbigay ng rekomendasyon sa COMELEC and Bank. And so inaasahan natin, ito yung pagpapatibay nung sinasabi nating fact-finding investigation, pag-share ng mga valuable information at saka mga dokumento na hawak nila at hawak din namin. Nag-share na sa amin ng NBI, ngayon naman ang DOJ at hopefully later may sulat na rin tayo sa Solicitor General upang hopefully makapag-share din ang opisina ng Solicitor General sa atin.
COMELEC expects the results of their finger analysis against Go as well as the outcome of their fact-finding investigation to be released next week.
Hopefully po hanggang isang linggo to matatapos yan, baka po early next week lalabas na po yung fingerprint analysis, pero ang gusto natin hindi lang yung analysis, makumpleto na yung mismong fact-finding investigation kasi 2 linggo lang naman ang binigay natin para tapusin ang investigasyon.
Despite this, COMELEC assured that Mayor Go's side will be heard in their investigation as part of due process. For God and beloved Philippines, this has been Margaret Gonzalez, SMNI News.
Former United States President Donald Trump has a high chance of winning the upcoming presidential election in the U.S. this November, according to attorney Harry Roque, following the aftermath in the attempt against his life. Valdi Venegracia has the details.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump sustained an injury to his right ear after an assassination attempt during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania this past weekend. While delivering his speech, Trump was shot by the suspect identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, who was subsequently killed by Secret Service agents after the shooting. This attempt against Trump's life is seen as evidence of his strong chance of being re-elected as President of the United States in the U.S. presidential election in November. Former presidential spokesperson attorney Harry Roque pointed out Biden's stuttering during his debate with Trump.
Malinaw na talagang ang mukhang mananalo sa Amerika ay itong si Trump. So nakikita po natin na itong assassination attempt, ito po ay isang attempt na patayin ang front runner na inaasahang mananalo na sa Nobyembre dyan sa Amerika.
Should former U.S. President Trump win, Roque believes that America's policies towards China will change.
At nakikita natin na magkaiba rin ang pulisiya ni Trump at ni Biden pagdating sa China. Mukhang itong si Biden ang kanyang susi para umunlad muli ang ekonomiya ng Amerika ay makipaggera nga, no? At yung nga ang nangyayari ngayon sa Ukraine at mukhang yan ang gusto niya mangyari sa China. Samantalang ito naman si Trump dahil siya ay isang negosyante, ang gusto niya negosyo, no? At nung panahon nga na siya ay presidente, wala naman naging banta sa posibleng gera sa panig ng Amerika at ang China.
Trump winning the U.S. presidency will also have significant implications for the territorial disputes in the West Philippine Sea.
Kasi nung sabay na naging presidente si President Trump at si President Duterte, nakita natin na walang hidwaan sa panig ng Amerika at ang China. Ang hidwaan talaga nung Scarborough Shoal, panahon ni Obama, at saka ni Noynoy Aquino, at saka ngayon panahon ni Marcos at saka ni Biden. So sa tingin ko pag makabalik ang Trump, unang-una magkakaroon ng kapayapaan sa West Philippine Sea, wala na yung hidwaan na yan. Tapos na yan. Paglihis ng issue na hindi maibaba ang presyo ng bigas sa 20 pesos sa kada kilo, kaya humanap ng kaaway.
Meanwhile, former President Rodrigo Duterte was also close to Trump, condemned the assassination attempt. The said incident is still under investigation. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, this is Valdivina Gracia. SMNI News.
The Department of Transportation has allocated nearly 100 million pesos for the rehabilitation of 5 EDSA busway stations in Metro Manila. However, some of the new elevators and certain stations are being vandalized. Let's find out why in Sheena Turno's report.
This is the situation of a new elevators built at the Balintawak and Guadalupe southbound stations of the EDSA busway. According to the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA, some unruly individuals have shattered glass panels on the new elevators at the Balintawak and Guadalupe southbound stations of the EDSA busway before passengers could use them. Meanwhile, cables at the control panel and card tap at the Bagong Barrio Center Island station have been pulled out. Despite these incidents, the newest EDSA busway station at Philam, Quezon City opened to the public on Monday morning. It has 3 transparent elevators to make the pedestrian footbridge leading to the bus carousel more accessible, especially for senior citizens, pregnant women, and persons with disabilities. The Transportation Department has also installed a smart traffic surveillance system, which will be used not only at this station, but also at the other busway stops. In addition to Philam QC, the DOTR aims to rehabilitate other EDSA busway stations, namely Guadalupe, Balintawak, Bagong Barrio, and Monumento. The budget for the rehabilitation of these stations amounts to nearly 100 million pesos. The DOTR aims to install 15 elevators in the mentioned stations.
Yung mga mandips gusto natin ilagay sa lahat ng stations yan. And we will work closely with the MMDA. Hihingi tayo ng additional budget, 200 million.
The MMDA is urging the public to value the projects built for the passengers.
Alam niyo, kaya namin ginawang transparent yan, napag-usapan nga namin ni Sec Jimmy, for safety reasons. Kasi kung kulong siya at hindi nakikita yung tao sa loob, pwedeng mulan ng krimen ito. Hold-upan, rape, or pangmumolestya ng mga pasahero. Kaya po natin ginawang transparent. Kaya po kami ay nananawagan na ingatan po natin at pangalagaan itong ganito pong proyekto ng pamahalaan.
Meanwhile, the aid for public utility vehicle operators affected by the successive oil price hikes is expected to be distributed in the coming days. According to DOTR Secretary Jaime Bautista, the billions of pesos in funds are ready for the qualified beneficiaries.
Although yung funds ay na-download na namin sa LTFRB, so it's a matter now of distributing it. No? Kasi kasama din dyan ang Land Bank of the Philippines. No? Dahil ang distribution ay through the Land Bank of the Philippines. No? So, siguro in a few weeks, start tayo distribution nito. Ang fuel subsidy natin is 2.5 billion.
As of now, the LTFRB has not responded to the DOTR chief's statement regarding the fuel subsidy. For God and for my beloved Philippines, this has been Sheena Torno, SMNI News.
Do you have a scheduled flight on Tuesday or Wednesday? If so, then be prepared, as the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3 will have a 2-day installation activity for 6 new cooling towers. Carla Abellanana will give the details.
Starting July 16 to 17, 2024, the Manila International Airport Authority or MIAA will carry out the final step of installing 6 new cooling towers scheduled from 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. at Terminal 3 of Ninoy Aquino International Airport. During this time, the new cooling tower piping will be connected to the main piping lines of the chiller plant. The centralized cooling system will be temporarily shut down to facilitate the installation. The MIAA aims to enhance the air cooling system at NAIA Terminal 3 to address complaints about insufficient cooling at the airport. According to the MIAA, earlier this year, they invested in new cooling towers and installed the piping infrastructure to upgrade and improve the overall air conditioning system at Terminal 3. Only blowers and fans of the air conditioning units will be operated to enable air circulation in various areas during the installation. However, it may not provide enough cooling for passenger comfort. Stand-alone air conditioning units will be placed in different areas of the terminal for spot cooling as a backup. Once the new cooling towers are fully integrated into the chilled water system, the air conditioning units are expected to gradually return to normal and operate efficiently. The 12-hour installation period will affect check-in counters, immigration departure, final security checkouts for domestic and international flights, baggage carousels for international and domestic arrivals, and the arrival lobby. MIAA General Manager Eric Jose Ines requests understanding and cooperation from all airport users during the temporary shutdown. For God and my beloved Philippines, Carla Abellana, SMNI News.
Iran's newly elected president said he wants to balance relations with all countries, but warned the United States it will not bow down to pressure. Melchizedek Cadiz reports.
President-elect Masoud Pezeshkian promised Iranians that he would prioritize strengthening relations with other countries and urge Arab countries to use all of its diplomatic resources to push for a ceasefire in Gaza. In an open letter, Pezeshkian made it clear that Iran will not respond to U.S. pressure and expressed his all-out support of the Palestinian resistance, Hamas. The president-elect said the U.S. backing out from the nuclear agreement in 2018 caused hundreds of millions of dollars in damage to its economy and untold suffering, especially during the COVID pandemic. He also accused the U.S. administration of escalating hostilities by assassinating General Qasem Soleimani, who was killed in a U.S. drone strike in Iraq in 2020. The 69-year-old looks forward to improving ties with European countries despite a series of ups and downs between the two sides. Meanwhile, the president-elect said Iran values Russia as a strategic ally and pledged to remain committed to enhancing their bilateral relations. Pezeshkian also praised China for consistently standing up with Iran even during challenging times, along with Moscow. The lawmaker, cardiologist, and former health minister will replace President Ibrahim KOJC following a tragic helicopter crash in May. Pezeshkian made his open message to the new world before he will take oath as the 9th president of Iran in August. Reporting from Kuwait, I am Melchizedek Cadiz, your global citizen correspondent for God and for our beloved country, the Philippines.
Warring factors in Sudan met in Geneva to resume fragile negotiations for a ceasefire as the ongoing violence puts millions of people in the brink of famine and severe hunger. Garter Muro tells us more.
The talks prevailed despite getting off on a rocky start when one of the delegations failed to show up on the first day. The Sudanese delegations haven't met face-to-face but through representatives. Ceasefire talks resumed as fighting between the Sudanese armed forces and paramilitary rapid support forces entered its 15th month. The ongoing fighting created the world's worst displacement crisis with about 19,000 deaths, 12.7 million people displaced, including 2.2 million refugees and 18 million people suffering from acute hunger, according to latest reports. The on-again, off-again ceasefire talks between the warring factions collapsed at the end of last year, making these latest efforts to stop the raging war more crucial than ever. Reporting from Dubai, I'm Gratero Omor, your global citizen correspondent for SMNI News Channel.
Thailand has expanded its visa-free entry program to more countries as the Southeast Asian nation makes effort to meet its goal in terms of the number of tourists and target revenue by the end of the year. Chatmunggom Pisamagoso reports.
Thailand's expanded visa-free scheme officially took effect on Monday, the 15th of July. Citizens from 93 countries are allowed to stay in Thailand without a visa. The immigration, police and security authorities have imposed necessary measures to ensure the scheme will be implemented efficiently on its first day. Visa-free entry to Thailand was only allowed for 57 states in the past. Newly added countries and regions include Russia, China, Taiwan, India, Macau, Mexico, and Cyprus, among others. Thailand anticipates up to 39 million tourists and to reach its 3 trillion baht target in 2024, with big events and travel schemes in store to support the ambitious goal. As of July 7, 2024, foreign arrivals in Thailand have reached 18.2 million, which generated a revenue of 858 billion baht, $24 billion, according to the Tourism and Sports Ministry. China, India, and Malaysia were the biggest sources of tourists in Indonesia in 2024. Reporting from Thailand, I'm Chatmunggom Pisamagoson, your global citizens correspondent for SMNI News Channel.
The Chinese embassy in Sweden called out the Nordic country against fabricating false narratives towards China. Trisha Molina has the report.
Verbal attacks and baseless accusations against China are a sign of Cold War mentality and ideological prejudice, according to the Chinese embassy in Sweden. The embassy accused several Swedish politicians of fabricating false narratives about Beijing. Some of them allegedly stated that Russia winning the conflict against Ukraine would encourage China to seize territory from other countries. Additionally, the embassy said that Swedish officials smeared China by claiming that the Philippines and Vietnam are facing pressure from Beijing in the South China Sea and that the island of Taiwan is at risk of invasion from the mainland. The embassy called out the remarks for demonstrating Cold War mentality and ideological prejudice, while noting that China never interfered in the internal affairs of other countries and campaigned for independent foreign policy. Amid the ongoing tensions in the South China Sea, a spokesperson for the Chinese embassy said that the matter is between China and several ASEAN members. The spokesperson also urged countries outside the region, including Sweden, to play a constructive role instead of provoking tensions and being a troublemaker. Reporting, this has been Trisha Molina, SMNI News.
The influential sister of North Korea's supreme leader warned to resume sending trash balloons to South Korea in retaliation for the left-led campaign against Pyongyang. Shilo Lee has the report.
Anti-Pyongyang leaflets scattered across the border sparked the ire of North Korea amid renewed tensions between the neighboring countries. Kim Yo-jong, the powerful sister of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, warned that Pyongyang would soon resume sending trash balloons to its neighboring country in response to the anti-Pyongyang leaflet. Last month, North Korea floated numerous balloons carrying various rubbish, cigarette butts, and even manure towards South Korea after activists scattered anti-Pyongyang political leaflets on its border. In response, South Korea suspended a 2018 inter-Korea military deal designed to lower tensions at the border. Seoul also resumed propaganda broadcasts and frontline live-fire military drills at border areas. For years, North Korean defectors have deployed huge balloons containing anti-Pyongyang leaflets, USB sticks containing K-pop songs in South Korean drama, as well as US dollar bills toward North Korea. Kim Yo-jong warned activists they must be ready to pay a high price for such acts. Meanwhile, South Korea announced plans to expand its laser program designed to harm larger targets, including aircraft and ballistic missiles. These plans include the production of the so-called Star Wars laser weapons that can shoot down drones deployed by North Korea for a low cost. The weapon works by burning engines or other electric equipment in drones with beams of light for 10 to 20 seconds. The strategy developed by Hanwha Aerospace will only cost around $1.45 or 2,000 won per shot, according to South Korea's Defense Acquisition Program Administration or DAPA. Reporting from South Korea, this is Shilo Lee, your global citizen correspondent. For God and our beloved country, the Philippines.
Senator Ocampo and Franz Castro have been found guilty of child abuse. More details from Hannah Jane Sancho.
Justice is within reach for the indigenous children of Talaingod after ACT Teachers Party's representative Franz Castro and ex-Bayan Muna representative Satur Ocampo were found guilty of violating Republic Act 7610, the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act.
So sa araw na ito, nilabas na nga ng RTC Branch 2 yung desisyon nila sa kaso ng Talaingod 18. No? Of course, hindi namin inasahan yung kinalabasan ng desisyon.
The court's decision stems from the trafficking case filed against former Bayan Muna Representative Satur Ocampo, ACT Party List Representative Franz Castro, and others on November 28, 2018, after they were caught transporting minors from the indigenous community of Talaingod, Davao del Norte. Based on the court's 25-page decision, Ocampo and Castro were convicted of child abuse, specifically Section 10A, Article 3 of Republic Act Number 7610, which carries a penalty of 4 to 6 years imprisonment. Aside from Ocampo and Castro, Maria Eugenia Victoria M. Nolasco, Jesus Madamo, Meriro Poquita, Maricel Andagkit, Marshall Rendon, Marian Aga, Genevieve Paraba, Nerhaya Taliedo, Maria Concepcion Ibarra, Nerfa Awing, and Wingwing Daunsay were also convicted. Meanwhile, Pastor Edgar Ugal, Reverend Ryan Magpayo, Elier Ordineza, and Reverend Judy Jaime were acquitted after the prosecution failed to prove their guilt. To recall, Ocampo and Castro claimed that they were on a rescue mission to save teachers and students of Salugpungan School in Talaingod from harassment by tribal leaders and military forces. However, the Regional Trial Court Branch 2 of Tagum City, Davao del Norte found that Ocampo, Castro, and others conspired to exploit 14 indigenous minors. The court stated that the accused had no legal or moral duty to accompany the minors and transport them from Talaingod to Mako using 5 vans. Parents and tribal leaders themselves filed complaints against Ocampo and Castro. They simply wanted the Salugpungan School closed and the teachers removed, but were shocked to discover that the minors had been taken away. In 2018, the Department of Education investigated and ordered the closure of the Salugpungan School. After receiving complaints, it taught students to hate the government. It was also proven that the school had links to the communist terrorist group CPP-NPA-NDF. The court ordered the accused to pay 10,000 pesos in civil indemnity. and 10,000 pesos to each minor for moral damages, with 6% interest per year from the date of the decision until full payment. The provincial government of Davao del Norte welcomed the court's decision and that it confirmed that Ocampo and Castro violated the law.
Ibig sabihin ay talagang nagkaroon sila ng violation tungkol doon sa case na gipile against sa kanila. So, dapat lang na pag-serbisyuhan nila yung desisyon na yun at tanggapin nila dahil ginawa naman nila kasi yun, court na ang nag-decide.
The ruling brings hope for other victims of deception, abuse, killings, and exploitation at the hands of the terrorist group CPP, NPA, NDF, as they too may one day see justice served. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, this has been Hannah Jane Sancho, SM9 News, Davao City.
The Department of Justice emphasizes the importance of respecting the court and the law after former Bayan Muna Party List Representative Castro Ocampo and ACT Teachers Party List Representative Castro found the 2 and 11 other respondents guilty of child abuse. Any attempt to undermine public trust in the jurisdictory through inappropriate statements or actions is not tolerable, according to the DOJ. Margaret Gonzalez for more details.
ACT Teachers Party List Representative Castro and former Bayan Muna Party List Representative Ocampo staged a protest in front of the Commission on Human Rights following their conviction for child abuse by the Tagum Regional Trial Court. Under the court's decision, they were sentenced to imprisonment ranging from 4 to 6 years. Both were also ordered to pay a total of 20,000 pesos in damages, 10,000 pesos for civil indemnity, and 10,000 pesos for moral damages for abusing 14 minors. The DOJ emphasized the gravity of the proceedings and the importance of respecting the court's verdict. According to the DOJ, this demonstrates the judiciary's commitment to uphold the law and protect the rights of vulnerable individuals, especially children. The DOJ appealed to all involved to respect the decision and the due process made by the court. According to the agency, it is crucial to respect the court and the legal system and the law itself. They stressed that any attempt to undermine public trust in the judicial process through inappropriate statements or actions is unacceptable. Nevertheless, the DOJ acknowledges the right of the convicted individuals to seek legal remedies, such as appealing to the court. For God and my beloved Philippines, this has been Mark Gonzalez, SM9 News.
Following the recent guilty verdict from the court in the child abuse case against ACT Teachers Rep. Castro and former Bayan Muna Rep. Castro Ocampo, indigenous people leaders in Mindanao have shared their reactions. Jade Calabroso reports.
For indigenous people leaders in Mindanao, the day the Regional Trial Court Branch 2 in Tagum City, Davao del Norte issued its verdict against the leftists, including ACT Teachers Representative Castro and former Bayan Muna Representative Castro Ocampo, is a day of celebration. They have been found guilty of child abuse or violation of Republic Act 7610, the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act. This stems from an incident in 2018 where Castro, Ocampo, and others were observed transporting 14 underage indigenous children from Talaingo, Davao del Norte. The court had dismissed the defendant's defense, claiming that recruiting indigenous youth was part of their educational mission. According to a statement issued by the Mindanao Indigenous Peoples Council of Elders and Leaders and the Mindanao Indigenous Peoples Youth Organization, they believe this victory is not only for indigenous people, but for all Filipinos who believe in democracy.
Magandang umaga po.
In an interview, Datu Alan Kausing, the Ancestral Domain Management Officer in Talaingod, shared that one IP leader was moved to tears of joy because justice has been served.
Perting lipaya sa mga tribal leader, no? So, si Bai Pilar Libayaw, na amo ang IPC, perting lipaya, og tungod sa yang kalipay, naghilak yun siya tungod sa yang kalipay nga na-convict na ang duha, nga naghatag og problema sa tribong Atamonobo. Perting lipaya yun, no? Sa mga IPs, sa mga tribal leader, nga nahatagan og hustisya, ang ginawa ng dalawang tao, hindi lang silang dalawang tao, kundi yung mga kasamahan, iba pang mga grupo nga mga leftist na nabigyan ng hustisya ng kanilang ginawang gulo dito sa amin.
Meanwhile, Datu Alan reiterated the exploitation done by Castro and Ocampo, along with other leftist groups, in taking indigenous youth as tools.
Dito sila kumuha ng mga kabataan through sa kanilang in-establish na paaralan, yung tawag sa Lupungan Tano Kanugon Learning Center. Kinukuha yung mga kabataan dito, tapos dinadala nila sa iba't ibang lugar. Tapos pagkatapos, sir, ma'am, hindi nila pinapaalam sa mga magulang at sa mga IPS, mga underage pa. So maraming mga kabataan kinuha nila dito at ipa-transport doon sa ibang lugar para gawin nila nga commander.
Bawan Jake Llanes, meanwhile, believed that this success would be a strong basis for catching other criminals who hid behind the government and legal front organizations of the CPP, NPA, NDF.
Magiging precedents o merong legal na basihan para habulin at i-unmask, hubaran ng kanilang maskara ang iba pang mga kadre ng CPP na nakatago at nagmamaskara bilang mga human rights defenders.
In the end, Datu Alan is very grateful to the national government, especially to the NTF-LCAC, for their continued assistance to their sector, particularly against the communist terrorist groups.
Nagpapasalamat po kami ng MIPSIL, MIPPIO at national government, particular ng NTF-LCAC sa walang puas o tulong sa amin para mabigyan ng hustisya ang kanilang ginagawa na panggugulo dito sa ancestral domain ng Atamonobo.
For God of my beloved Philippines, this has been Jade Calabroso, SMNA News.
Thousands gathered in Oslo, United Kingdom for the two-day London Barrio Fiesta, celebrating Filipino culture with vibrant performances, authentic cuisine, and community spirit. Karen Bell has the story.
The London Barrio Fiesta here in Hounslow, United Kingdom, now in its second year, concluded successfully. Now in its second year after COVID, the Barrio Fiesta in Hounslow attracted a large number of attendees, including Filipinos and people of other nationalities throughout both days of the event. This year's fiesta was a tremendous success, showcasing local Filipino talents, business, food, culture, sports, and pageantry. Local Filipino artists were thrilled with the audience's enthusiastic response to their music and expressed their desire to return for the next year's Barrio Fiesta.
I really love the sense of camaraderie, and at the same time, makikita mo talaga yung cooperation, yung pagbuklod-buklod ng ating mga Filipino community here in London, and it's really commendable. The organizer did an awesome job. The performers are world-class, at yun nga, I'm so honored and thankful kasi napabilang po ako sa isa sa mga performer din dito.
I've just been performing here at Barrio Fiesta and we had the best time. I feel so honored to have been here and to be able to celebrate today with everyone. I can't thank everyone enough. It's been a fantastic day. Thank you so much. Salamat po.
Various Filipino communities also performed traditional cultural dances that delighted the crowd. Filipino designers displayed their creations, highlighting the diversity and elegance of Filipino fashion. Visitors explored a variety of food stalls, offering authentic Filipino cuisine. Sponsors and local businesses tirelessly served thousands of people, offering a wide range of products and sumptuous Filipino food and desserts. Despite the unpredictable London weather, the event was a resounding success. The park was alive with a multitude of activities, including a volleyball tournament and an amusement park that delighted both children and adults with its rides and games. Two Filipino comedian artists, Donita Nos and Tekla, traveled all the way from the Philippines to bring laughter and entertainment to the festival attendees. Their performance was a hit, filling the atmosphere with joy and laughter.
Sobrang happy na makapag-perform kami sa mga kababayan natin dito sa London, sa UK. Kasi nga, ang layo ng Pilipinas para umuwi sila. So kami na lang pumunta dito.
So,
dinala kami ni Sir Errol, of course, ang Barrio Fiesta.
So, hindi lang ito ang huli natin pagkikita dito sa Barrio Fiesta.
Tama.
At marami pang Barrio Fiesta na darating.
Lahat ng barrio dito, fiesta natin.
Fiesta natin at susugurin natin.
Of course, at lahat ng mga Pilipino na nandito ngayon dahil maraming salamat po sa mainit yung pagtanggap. Of course, dahil syempre hindi naman namin talaga alam kung ano magiging reaction nila. Pero sobrang welcoming, masaya. So talagang sana po maulit-ulit yung show na to.
The current mayor of Hounslow, Councillor Karen Smith, was also present and shared that she was having a fantastic time at the Barrio Fiesta.
Hi, I'm Karen Smith. I'm Mayor of Hounslow. I'm having a fantastic time at the Barrio Festival today. Barrio Festival's been here for many years and it's wonderful to host a cultural event like this, and I hope that it's here for many, many years to come.
The organisers expressed their immense gratitude to all the volunteers, sponsors and supporters of the Barrio Fiesta. Without their contributions, the event would not have been as successful. Their support was instrumental in making the Barrio Fiesta a memorable celebration of Filipino culture.
Prepared a lot for everybody because I know that Barrio Fiesta is very important. It's making people aware of our Filipino culture, but at the same time the tradition. And kung ano po mga ginagawa natin pag nagkakaroon tayo ng Barrio Fiesta. From the morning till the evening na talagang kasiyahan, katuwaan, at may bini-bining Barrio Fiesta kami this year. So again, in behalf of Barrio Fiesta Ltd, with our CEO, Mr. Errol Isip, we would like to say thank you to all of you that have supported us.
Maraming salamat po sa pagpunta sa ating Independence Day event sa ating London Barrio Fiesta. Napaka-successful po ng ating 2 days event this year. I am very thankful and grateful sa ating mga sponsors, especially sa lahat ng mga umattend. Lahat po ng pinagpaguran nila, lahat ng effort nila, it paid off.
Ay, mabuhay po tayong lahat. Welcome to Barrio Fiesta of 2024. Maraming salamat sa mga core team, the whole core team of Barrio Fiesta. Sa hirap at ginhawa, sama-sama pa rin tayo. I thanks as well the Hounslow Council that they're giving us the opportunity to celebrate it here in the land of Hounslow Central. We have 256 talents today to perform. Yung po yung pangarap ko at pangarap ng whole team na to showcase all the talents in United Kingdom. Mabuhay po tayong lahat at maraming salamat.
Reporting from the United Kingdom, I'm Karen Vallier, your global citizen correspondent. For God and our beloved country, the Philippines.
And before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the Son. The more you imbibe the Word of God in your life, the more you acquire riches in heaven. That's all for this edition. For more updates, you may visit smninewschannel.com or follow us on our official social media accounts on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I'm Chris Aclo, and this is Newsline World.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
Subscribe to SMNI News Channel and turn on the notification bell to keep you up to date. Also visit our official social media accounts and join our community on Viber and Telegram.